Hi, and welcome back to Kudu Cartoons. In episode 1, there was an interview with me talking about why I started this and the steps I went through to become a legal business, registering with the state as a fictitious business under my Crazy Kudu company, registering the domains for Kudu Animation Studio and Kudu Cartoons. Um, with all the less than glamorous stuff out of the way, let's start the journey. So with the business foundation laid, the next logical step was coming up with a visual identity. First step for me is always pulling out the sketchbook, just drawing out a bunch of ideas, um, throwing everything at it and seeing what I come up with. You might have seen some of those. I used some of the sketches as placeholders on the website and some of the social media. Once I got that out of the way, the next step was to pull everything into Illustrator and start refining the idea down. Here are some initial sketches I came up with, some rough ideas for what I wanted for the logo. And I started working on the actual shapes of the Kudu head or the Kudu full body that I wanted to incorporate into the logo. These are going to be my base. Next, I was trying to decide what colors I wanted to use for the logo. That's what I'm working on here, just some basic color swatches. This is typical what I do to get a rough idea. I did know that I wanted to use the setting sun as the background for the logo, so I just decided to start with the circles, try to work out how far down on the horizon I wanted the sun to actually be setting, and that's what I'm working on here. Next, I needed to work on the actual gradients for the sun as it's setting down, deciding which of the different color values I wanted together. Wanted to see what the contrast would be with the background, so that's what I'm applying here. Just seeing the different colors as they're gradating down and blending in with the background. Just trying a couple different options, seeing which kind of popped more for me. As I was working through this, I kind of really started leaning toward the second and the third one from the right side. I thought those kind of gave me that natural look that I was going for. The third one, the middle one, had the highest contrast. So then I decided to go ahead and apply those to the setting sun so I could see what those gradients would look like in the actual circle. Put the background on it so that I could decide what would look more natural. Again, I really like those browns going down to the red into it. I thought it looked really natural, but the heavy contrast on the top one kind of really popped for me. The next step was bringing the sketches that I had into Illustrator. My original plan was to just do an image trace on there and try to work it out. When I started looking at it, I didn't think that was going to work as well, so I decided to pull these over into Photoshop, narrow it down to the two that I wanted, just started adjusting the contrast so I could get a clean image on it. Then just started moving those to different layers and grabbed my paintbrush and started to do an outline on everything. I've sped this up a whole lot, but basically I just traced over the shape of the Kudu head, then kind of my thought is once I got the outline done, I could just fill it in. Eventually, then I'll take this and the other image into Illustrator, and then I could do the image trace on that. It'd just be a little bit cleaner. It just seems simpler to do the outline and fill it in. I'm doing the same thing here with the standing Kudu, the whole body, not just the head. Again, just a kind of quickly traced over, very rough. I knew I was going to be able to take this back into Illustrator and do some cleanup work to it, but just getting the basic shape, and I wanted to fill that in as a solid. Once I had those saved, then I needed to bring those back into Illustrator. No longer need the sketches, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of those. Let's do a quick convert to outline. Once I had that done, then I need to bring my gradients back in with my suns. Kind of feel out how I wanted these placed. You can see just kind of working on the size here. Then I realized really quickly that I had cut the body of the Kudu off here, so I was going to go ahead and extend that out a little bit. Kind of playing with the idea of the the Kudu head versus the Kudu body as a whole. Looking at the distances there with the various suns. I know this is kind of changing up the actual shape of the Kudu, but for the logo it's going to work out a little bit better for me. And we're going to try these down here at the bottom. Again, I really like the way that the silhouette of the Kudu matches the foreground and blends up into the red of the setting sun, but the contrast of the top I think just stands out a lot more. Once I figured the image out, then it was trying to figure fonts out for these. I decided to try a lot of fonts. Once I had the final graphics in there, you can see I kind of reversed them down a little bit, put the fonts in. Here's a couple different color options I was trying and experimenting with. Eventually I did go with the black background. I just think it had the highest contrast, but the other options are always there for me to do what I want. These options that you're looking at here are what I came up with for the social media. Using both Kudu Animation Studios and the Kudu Cartoons, I wanted options as a more square and then a more of a horizontal look. So with the logos done, I went ahead and posted those to the website, to Facebook, Instagram, here on this YouTube channel. Now it's time to really start jumping into what software is available. As much as Adobe Animate is tempting to me because of familiarity with Adobe products, I do know that there is other options out there, less expensive options out there. If I want to go the route of 3D, I know that Blender 3D is extremely powerful and they have a huge community. I dabbled in Blender a long time ago, so I don't think that's going to be a huge stretch. I've looked at some other options. Synfig Studio, I think, is one. OpenTunes is Tunes Max, I think, is the free version of it. Both of those seem to have really big communities, so I'd like to take a look at those and see what they have to offer. So if that seems like something you guys would be interested in following me with, hit the subscribe button. You can watch the next episode where I'm going to jump into testing out some of these software options, seeing what's available, just trying out Animate with my trackpad was less than optimal, so I definitely have to find my Wacom tablet. Try to get used to using that again. I am sure when I start doing animation, it's going to make things a lot easier. So thanks for following along. You can also see me on Facebook, on Instagram, and my website. I'll have the links in the description below. I would also love to hear what you guys think about the logos. Drop some comments below. Let me know what you think. Also, I'd love to hear from you guys on what animation software you'd recommend for a complete noob like me. Any tips and tricks, I would love to hear from you guys. Until next time, see ya.